Hello, my dear students. Hope so all of you would be fine. Studies is a game, it's a fun, it's not like a burden. And especially your Cambridge IGCSE English as second language is just like a puzzle game, especially its reading section. Here we have the latest paper available from all the past papers. It's February March 2025 that was just conducted this year a few months ago. This exam series is available in India, although the exam pattern, syllabus, everything is same for this subject, and it's going to be same for 0510 and 0511. So if you are studying Cambridge IGCSE English as second language, even 0993 and these codes are same. Let's solve this paper. We will discuss each exercise one by one. This is paper 1 for 60 marks. 30 marks are there for the reading paper and 30 marks are there for the writing paper. In total, you have 2 hours for this paper. So here is the first reading section. In reading section, as I had already told you in the syllabus, new syllabus video, that there are 4 exercises. Exercise 1 is of 8 marks. Let's first read the text. So before reading the text, if you first look at the questions, you will be able to focus on this text. So when was the town of Coober Pedy built? What development in the 1980s made it easier for more tourists to get to Coober Pedy? How often do trains stop near Coober Pedy? 1 mark. Which months are given as being the worst times for tourists to visit? Where in the area can visitors see an unusual piece of public art? What are the benefits for people in Coober Pedy of having buildings underground? Give 3 details. You will always see that this question number 6 you will always see is there for 3 marks. So you definitely have to add 3 points here for this question. Okay. So let's now move to the text. So for this question, you will always bring 3 points. We call it combining information technique. These 3 points can be found in the different sections of the text as well. So for the first 5 questions, there is 1 mark. You just have to give 1 point. But for the last question, you have to add 3 points for 3 marks. Okay. Um, let's now read the text and enjoy it. Let's read it. Read the web page about the town in Australia called Coober Pedy and then answer the questions. Coober Pedy, the town of Coober Pedy in South Australia, is a very interesting place. Although there have been people living in the area for a long time, other parts of the world only learned about the region's existence in 1958 when an explorer from Scotland, Macno Stott, traveled nearby. It was later still in 1915 that the town was constructed. This followed an important discovery in the area when highly colored precious stones called opals were found in large amounts. By 1999, opal mining had become an important industry for the area, and nowadays Coober Pedy is often referred to as the opal capital of the world. Another reason why Coober Pedy is so well known is that many people live in houses which unusually are located underground. These houses look similar to caves, and being underground means they can remain cool in high temperatures. On the surface, these are regularly over 40 degrees centigrade in the summer. What's more, the temperature below ground stays constant through the year. The town gradually became a popular tourist destination, and over time, mines were opened to the public and hotels were built. Tourists also wanted to see the houses and explore the underground churches. Because these buildings are constructed underground, no sounds from the outside can be heard. Since 1987, there has been a particular increase in tourist numbers. It was at that time that a main road called the Stott Highway was completed. Visitors without their own transport still have various options to reach the town, including arriving by a train or by a coach, which arrives once a day. The train station is outside the town, and people need to plan any trip carefully as the service only runs once a week. Tourists are also strongly advised to avoid visiting at certain times of year due to the extreme heat. Making trips during January and February is particularly challenging, with April to October being seen as a far more sensible choice. There is plenty to see in the town and its surroundings, as well as the spectacular scenery of the vast Australian outback. There is the first tree in the area. It's a sculpture made of iron, and there is nothing else like it, representing the arrival of the first trucks in the 1950s. It's located on a hill nearby and is a popular subject for photos. In the town, there are also various art galleries, both above and under the ground. Cooper Pedy artists are highly productive, so it is fortunate that it is relatively easy to enlarge an underground house, if needed, by digging out an extra room to make an artist studio. Now let's see the question one by one. When was the town of Cooper Pedy built? So when it was built, here is the word built can be the key word. Let's see. Here is a word constructed. So you will see finding the answers there might be alternative word. So do not just do word spotting, catch the idea. Build and constructed can be synonyms. So when it was constructed or built 1915. So here we get the answer for our first question. Try to be very short and brief. Don't add extra detail because you just have 1 mark. What development in the 1980s made it easier for more tourists to get to Cooper Pedy? So now the development that happened in 1980s that made it easier for more tourists. So the keyword here in this question is more tourists. Let's see when there were more tourists. So there was something. Let's find it here. Um, so. Yes. Since 1987, there has been a particular increase in tourist numbers. If you see this point, increase in tourist numbers, and here is the point, more tourists. So they say 1980s, and 1987 also comes under 1980s because 1981, 1982, 1983 all 1980s. So 1987 has been a particular increase in tourist number, but why? It was at that time that a main road called Stott Highway was completed. So this was the reasons for the more visitors. So that's why we have added it here, the Stott Highway. What development in 1980s? This was the development. How often do trains stop near Cooper Pedy? There can be distracting information. You have to notice the keyword trains. Okay, and how often? So there were two things here, buses or something like that, and the train. So let's see what we have to find. Do not confuse for the other things. Visitors without their own transport still have various options to reach the town, including arriving by a train or by a coach which arrives once a day. Now, once a day is about coach. This information can be distraction for you, and you may choose once a day. That would be wrong. Be careful, which arrives once a day. This clause is for coach. It's not explaining train. The train station is outside the town, and people need to plan any trip carefully as the service only runs once a week. This is about service. Service of what? This service is from train station. It means that this information once a week is about train, not once a day. This is something where students can have mistakes and you can write wrong answers when there is distraction. So it's also a test of your intelligence, your IQ level, your focus span. Try to be very much focused while doing these questions. That's why I call this is like a puzzle game. Just enjoy it. Next we have question number 4. Which months are given as being the worst times for tourists to visit? So worst time means not good time, not suitable time, challenging time, but months, not in general about the weather. The question is about months. Let's be back to the where this information was given. Tourists are also strongly advised to avoid visiting at certain times of year due to extreme heat. Making trips during January and February is particularly challenging or worst time, especially the names of the months, with April to October being seen as far more sensible choice. This can be distraction for you, but these are sensible choice, not worse. Challenging seems to be better suitable for the worst situation, so we will take January and February. That's why we have written it here. Now question number 5. Where in the area can visitors see an unusual piece of public art? An unusual piece of public art. Where in the area? Where? Okay. Now public art. There was only one mentioning of a public art here in this text. Let's see where. It was about as well as the spectacular scenery of no. It's a sculpture. And you know sculpture is an artwork. There is nothing else like this. Nothing else like this means it's unusual. This word unusual gives us that sense. So you have to do idea spotting, not word spotting, in questions and in both in text and the questions. So for unusual, it means nothing is like that, like this. So this is sculpture made of iron. And where is it located? It's located on a hill nearby. Hill is the place in the area where you can find it. Okay. Let's now see question number 6. What are the benefits for people in Cooper Barre of having buildings underground? Give 3 details. Cool in high temperatures, no sounds from outside, but where we have found it. Let's be back to find 3 details. Now the key word in this question is buildings underground. Let's find and the benefits for people for this. Let's find wherever we find anything about underground buildings. Let's see them now. So here you can see what are the benefits. Let's see. First was I think here. Yes, tourist. No, the first is here. These are underground. Yes. Many people live in houses which usually are located underground. These houses look similar to caves, and being underground means they can remain cool in high temperature. This can be the first point. They can remain cool in high temperature. Mm-hmm. The hotel's tourists want to see how to explore the underground churches because these buildings are constructed underground. No sounds from the outside can be heard. Second benefit, transport still to the train station. Tourists are also strongly advised to avoid staying. Where is the third point? Let's find it out. Underground. It is relatively easy to enlarge an underground house. Easy to enlarge an underground house. Now you can see the first information we find here, second point we find here, and the third point we find here. 3 benefits of underground. This is called combining information technique that you can sometimes use in your comprehension questions. where you have to find answer points from different parts of the text. So cool in high temperatures, no sound from outside, easy to enlarge. Okay, this is the end of exercise 1 with 6 questions and 8 marks. Hopefully you would have enjoyed it. We will soon upload exercise 2. Wait for the next video. Do not forget to add your comments and give us likes and share with your friends and family members. Take care. Goodbye.